Gentlemen, I have a last question for both of you guys. And the last question would be the following. Um, Not tangible versus tangible. What do you guys think? Do you think majority of the problem people not having trust in cryptos has to do with not being tangible versus a dollar being so tangible, even though dollar is tangible, it actually loses value, but people are okay with it, versus crypto is not tangible and it seems to be gaining value. What is your opinion on that? Do you think people are scared of the fact that crypto is not tangible, which is why there the lack of trust?
Yes, I believe that that's part of it. For some people, they think that since it's intangible, it doesn't have, an actual. And I think part of it's also that a lot of people don't understand that the USD also doesn't really have anything backing its value. It's
Mm-hmm.
the sentiment of the people who are using the currency that gives that currency value. And that's the exact way that cryptocurrency is utilized as a currency as well, is because people want to either spend it or store it, and they see value in it. So really, something's true value is always going to be dictated by the consumer. And tangibility is important to a lot of people because they aren't able to visually represent what they are holding. I think as times move forward and we continue to move more into a digital age, to David's point earlier, people who grew up in this era of knowing what cryptocurrencies are and how they work, I think you're going to see a lot less people who are intimidated. Intimidated is not really it's kind of
Shy away,
I
let's
would
say.
say they shy away from something because they feel like they don't understand
Mm-hmm.
that
Lack of
it's
education, I agree.
it's a lack of education, but I think that a lot of
Mm.
times it can make sense that they would feel that way too, because many people have been burnt out on things that they didn't actually have access to or to be able to
Mm-hmm.
see in person or in real life. For instance, you had several scams that people feel like this could just be one of those. I see all the
Yeah.
time people saying that Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all of these cryptocurrencies are Ponzi schemes.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen Ponzi schemes in cryptocurrency. I'll bring up BitConnect as an
Mm-hmm.
example, but in real life, as a real life example for many people who shy away from something because it's not tangible, you've had a lot of scams regarding buying buying travel shares and things like that, shares to be able to have this place that you're gonna be able to stay at for every now and then in the year, and then it turns out that you bought a property that just doesn't exist. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because they never actually went out and saw the property themselves, and they feel like doing that with cryptocurrency can be something very similar because
Left a
of the.
bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, because it's not tangible. And that's a story that many, many people are aware of and they've heard. And it's just, there are a lot of things like that have happened that leave people uh, kind of, I would still use the term, skeptical to get
Mm-hmm.
involved in cryptocurrency because it isn't tangible. But like I said, as time moves on, people are going to
Adapt.
be more aware and they're going to adapt. I mean, who's carrying cash? I mean, obviously you want to store some level of, paper cash just in case, anything
Liquid.
ever
Yeah.
happened. Liquidity, paper liquidity, you want to hold on to some of that hard paper. But I would say that most of people's wealth is stored online, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily tangible. You can
Yes.
obviously go and pull it out if you'd like to, but it's all, on their online
In
bank
digital
account. It's
form.
in digital form already. It's just not stored in the blockchain currently.
Great point. Thank you, JT. Thank you. David, anything to add?
No, I agree with JT. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that there were no debit cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
So
weren't.
true.
And then we started with credits that were local credits, then credit cards through banks, debit cards. Then, because you're right, it's not an actual tangible dollar. It's very rare that you see people spending dollars. I do pop-ups. I don't know if you guys are familiar with pop-ups or if you have them in your area. And what they are is they're
I am.
small local businesses that pop up a shop, and there'll be 30, 40. There's going to be one next week, and it's going to be like 80 80, 85 different
Nice.
vendors.
Pop-ups.
Yeah, small businesses. I love them because the people are so hardworking.
Mm.
And a lot of it is it's crafts and things that they provide that they've made, and and I get excited for them. I go out. I've done my own. I've gone and take pictures with them, and I've taken photos of their products. But what I've noticed is, as you're walking along, the people that are the customers, the consumers, are mostly spending cash. But almost every one of those vendors takes Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay. None of them have swipers anymore. And I don't remember if you guys remember the PayPal swipe, and you had to pass the card through
square
it.
And everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
They don't do that anymore. They've got their QR code. You scan it, you send me money, and you're good to go. So we're already stepping that way. That's all intangible funds that are being transferred back and forth. But ultimately, I would say, you know what? We're habitual. We're habitual creatures.
Yes, we are.
And it's just getting people to get in the habit. And I think once people are in the habit of dealing with cryptocurrency, and that's why I was saying the generational thing is, as you build the habit, the generations past that aren't in that habit, everybody else is comfortable with it. That becomes the habit, and that's the thing that we all do. But I definitely see a huge move, like I said, from growing up and as old as I am, from dollars. I remember my mom going and cashing my dad's check, and she held onto those dollars, right, in her fist. Those are my dollars for the week. And she paid everything cash. So from that to debit card, now PayPal, Venmo, Apple Pay, where you're just tap and go or you're scan and go. I think we're marching that way already. But yes, definitely, we're definitely habitual animals. And once we get that habit of using cryptocurrency, it'll be what we use. And a lot of people don't even realize, right now we're using a system, like I said, it's, the fiat currency, it really has no value. It's made up value. Everybody believes that the Fed is actually a federal institution, and it's not. It's privately owned. So we have this
crazy,
company.
Right?
Yeah, this company
it
tells
amazes me.
the
I
country.
Couldn't believe that was real.
Yeah, a privately owned and privately run company tells us about our money, and people believe that the Federal Reserve is actually part of the federal government.
Nope.
So
it's a privately owned company, and just like any business, it needs to make profit.
And that's why I was saying, I think that when it comes to cryptocurrency, I think the majority of people want to find the easiest path through the transaction. As business people, we know any hurdle you put in the path of them actually completing the sale is going to be a possibility of a no, or I don't want to do this sale after all. I think as cryptocurrency removes those hurdles from everyday people, then I think that it'll be more and more accepted. As it's more and more accepted, it'll become more and more habitual. And 20, 25 years from now or less, they'll be talking about the new thing. And are people going to accept it? And does it really have value? And it'll be, especially once AI takes off, then we may not even need cryptocurrency anymore, because our computer overlords will be providing all of our needs on a daily basis.
I like that, computer overlords. That is awesome, gentlemen. We had another amazing podcast. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys the time.